Motorola's mid-range G6 series is still really fresh in our minds, but Motorola's already here showing off a new, more premium smartphone. It's this, the new Moto Z3 Play. As the Z would indicate, it does work with every moto mod Motorola and its partners have ever made, but how do those accessories work with a brand new and actually quite stylish smartphone? Let's take a closer look. Here's the thing about the Z Play series, if you're not familiar. They lack the sheer power of Moto's full-blown Z phones, but they're cheaper and generally have better battery life. Even better, they support all of the Moto mods on the market. No wonder the Z Plays are among Moto's most popular devices, even if they're not the most thrilling. You'll be able to buy ones unlocked for $499 this summer, and there's a neat surprise in the box too. Instead of a faux wood grain style shield, you'll get one of Motorola's 2000 mAh battery mods. Now, let's run through the basics. There's an octa-core Snapdragon 636 chipset inside, clocked at 1.8 GHz, along with 4 GB of RAM and either 32 or 64 GB of internal storage. Throw in a 3000 mAh battery and a microSD slot, and you've got the makings of a pretty solid upper mid-range phone. It was plenty fast for the tasks I threw at it, and it seemed to handle graphically pretty games without much trouble. So, what's different here? Well, I'm sure you've noticed that screen already. It's the first Max Vision display to appear in a Z Play, and it's not bad at all. We're working with a 6-inch 18:9 Super AMOLED panel, and it's actually nice enough for the price. I just wish it was a little easier to read in broad daylight. Moto can't change the dimensions of the Z Phone too much because that would break compatibility with those Moto mods, so squeezing a bigger screen in here meant Moto had to trim lots of space around the display and move the fingerprint sensor to the phone's right side. This doesn't look like any other Z phone Moto has ever made, and that's a good thing. The dual camera is also new to the Z Play line, and you're going to do most of your shooting with that 12 megapixel main sensor and its f1.7 aperture. In our limited time together, the Z3 Play turned out brighter, more vivid photos than I would have expected, though you should definitely wait for a full review if you want a better sense of what this thing is capable of. The secondary 5 megapixel camera is purely used for depth effects, like if you want to fill your portrait backgrounds with some really beautiful bokeh. The tricks don't end there though. You can use Google Lens to identify objects in the real world, like these really cool red shoes I kind of want to buy when I get the chance, as well as copy and paste text from signs in the real world. Oh, and if you're a fan of making incredibly weird GIFs, there's a cinemagram feature built in here too. You can use it to select what parts of a GIF should be animated, and since my birthday is coming up, I had to celebrate prematurely. As always, you'll be able to activate the camera and turn on the flashlight by whipping the phone around, but there's one last helpful Moto addition here: gesture navigation. You'll swipe up on a bar at the bottom of the screen to open the app launcher, swipe left to go back, and swipe right to open your recent apps. Simple. In fact, they're so simple I've come to prefer them over the gestures currently available in the Android P beta. Ultimately, I'm pretty curious if Moto's strategy of packing in a battery Moto mod with the Z3 Play is going to help. It's a great value for you and me, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to help Motorola grow its burgeoning mod business. Other than that though, this is a stylish, powerful smartphone. I'm looking forward to testing it more. This is obviously a non-final device, so stay tuned for a full verdict once we get a chance to play with a real unit.